I hate to break the fishing news up, Chuck, but I'd like to speak about the ice hockey.
Congratulations, you're one of the 13 listeners of the Real Life Podcast.
We just traded a migraine in for like an orgasm.
Might want to mark that down, Chuck.
Yep. All of my projects are on schedule until they're not.
A member of the Nation Network of Podcasts.
About as funny as we're going to get today.
Welcome into the Thursday edition of the Real Life Podcast.
It's a good show.
Oh, don't worry. Today on ON Every Day, within the 45 minutes of the show, I called it Oilers Nation Radio and Real Life at one point. So that was fun.
You were distracted by Hunter, though.
I was. We'll get to that.
Oh, Tyler told us the playoff run was very intense. And we had a lot of very interesting conversations. And one of the ones, because Tyler was in his cups, as we like to say, Tyler removed the deadline for the boudoir shoot. Just let's get to 30,000 subs and the boudoir shoot is happening.
That's really nice, man.
That's a lie.
That is buying in. Buying in.
I never moved that day. And you guys are just going to be fucking, yeah, the look you're giving him.
You're a good company, man.
If this show was on YouTube, which it will be next year, you'd see the smirk on Jay's face right now and you'd be like, he's lying.
I think what you're doing is a valuable service to our subscribers.
Chalmers isn't here. He's golfing.
Shocker.
Waney's not here. He's on the radio.
Big wheel.
So Zach Lang isn't on the show.
Drinking a beer, filling in for Chalmers as well.
Oh, nice.
It's the rule. If you sit in Chalmers' chair, you have to have a drink.
That is true. There was
the remnants of Chalmers were out there, though.
Yeah, there was a whole thing. Maddie found like a can of Coke that had been in the fridge for 2 weeks. She had very little of it poured out, and she was like, "Who does this?" And we're like, and everybody's just like,
it's easy."
I really need to just do a deep dive on the weekend. I just we went on a guy's golf trip, and Chalmers was there, and the kid is a fucking animal.
What's the earliest you saw him take a sip of alcohol?
It's not even that, but it is also that. That guy has no off switch. He would stay up for 300 hours if he could. He's dragging people into the fight to stay up late and watching video. It's just to do silly shit, watch videos, talk about music. And then guys are slowly dropping off. And then it'll always be the last guy okay, man, I'm going to go to bed. And then Chalmers will be like, well, then what am I going to do?
Go to bed. Well,
it's not even on the radar. And then he sleeps for 4 hours, gets up and shoots 79. Ridiculous. It's astonishing.
He's a well-oiled machine, isn't he?
I mean, it is interesting. The guy doesn't get hangovers, for one, which is a huge superpower, and for some can be high functioning with very little sleep. And then next night do the exact same thing.
Yeah.
No headstands were done this weekend, which is very rare.
No ladies to show off in front of, so you didn't need to pull it out.
There was definitely no ladies to be seen
within 10 kilometers of the town.
We were just stuck to the house the whole time.
Yeah. Where were you?
Kimberly, which is a beautiful little town. That little downtown, that little street or whatever, 2 streets. It's a cool little town.
Cool.
Lots of deer.
Okay.
You gonna trust me on that?
Yeah. I'll buy it.
We had deer in our backyard every morning. I was in the hot tub loosening up for the championship
Chalmers
round.
was drinking with him.
Chalmers crushing rise with the deer.
Oh, you had a hot tub? That's a great add to any guy's trip.
So my partner going into the final round, because we're in the championship pairing with Chalmers and my other buddy, and he wakes me up. He's like, "Hey, we got to go loosen up in the hot tub." And sometimes I come to the golf course, especially when you're on a bender, you're dehydrated, you're stiff.
Yeah.
And you can't swing your arms independent from your body because you're just this stiff mess.
Okay.
Well, the hot tub, I came loose.
Yeah.
First drive, piped. I was very happy.
When I was
Second shot, not piped.
When I was on a bachelor party last year, our Airbnb had a hot tub, but the jets were just a 10-minute timer. And we had a big running joke because we'd sit in there and then the jets would turn off. And I was like, that's not a hot tub. It's just a bro bath. We're calling it the bro bath.
Every 10 minutes?
Every 10 minutes.
And the joke slap.
Bath. And then we'd go put the jets back on. And it's back to a hot tub. Then it'd go back to being a bro bath.
Guess you had to be there.
Yeah, you did. BM's back for the first time in a few weeks. First time in a handful of real life episodes.
I thought you were moving to Toronto.
Yep, almost did. Involuntarily. Yeah. It's always an adventure traveling these days.
It is. It doesn't matter what airline. It is just a crapshoot now. Ever since COVID.
Yeah, and it's not ideal to find out flights are canceled as you're supposed to board. we experienced it where you walk up to your gate and go, no plane there, not ideal.
Yeah.
And then you get the notification. This time, though, it was an extra couple of days in the 6.
Which is wild that it, like, they just couldn't get you anywhere. Like,
they couldn't get me on a competitor airline because they were all booked. They couldn't get me on anything that day because it was all booked. Like, I could have got home on Sunday, but it would have cost way more than what it ended up being.
Every flight is jammed now.
Right.
And I know there's less flights and that also kind of less capacity, same demand. I don't know, but every flight you go on is packed.
Rammed. Like and on my flight home, it was one of those ones where the overhead bins very packed and then people are arguing about having to check stuff. So it was just like, it was an adventure getting home.
I do like how it's gone to the point with travel, and I shouldn't even say it's gone to the point. It's always been this way. Everyone has one of the two airlines that they swear by and hate the other one.
Oh yeah.
It's always like, I can't stand that one. They screwed me over this one time. They're the worst airline. Then you'll go to like the next person. They're like, oh no, I only use that airline. They're the only one that's ever been good to me. It's just all a disaster is my point.
Yeah. They all they all have their battles.
Yeah.
It's an adventure.
It doesn't.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
But like, having had the travel complications we did at times during the playoffs, I was just kind of like, it is what it is. So it was nice to be on that side of the fence as opposed to people who were just so stressed about getting home and just not knowing their flight was canceled until the last minute. So I was watching. And then as I was walking past the WestJet gate on the way out of the airport, I was looking at the employees. I go, you got to slog here for the next little while because you got a line.
Yeah.
How was Blink at the Dome? That's a big building.
Yeah.
Was it roof closed?
Roof closed, yeah.
I think
it has to be.
It would probably have to be. But it was a weird venue to see a concert in because of how big it is. So like my seats were good, but I was still a mile away from them, it felt like, because they stuck them in the outfield.
Okay.
So that's where the main stage was. And I was kind of down the first baseline. So I was there, but not. So sounded great. I could see. You could hear everything, but then I went to our standard, the Loose Moose, after for a cocktail and some wings.
Good spot.
And I went on to Reddit and I was just kind of seeing what other people were saying. I guess if you're sitting up in the 500s, it got so muddy up there that you could barely hear anything.
Ew.
Like the banter, which is a big part of a Blink show. Like they couldn't hear anything that they were saying up there. So it was just, I had a great experience, but it was a weird venue to see a concert in.
Did they have like a floor? Like were there people like?
Oh yeah, the floor was packed. Like the entire field was rammed. You could not move down there. So my thing was, they announced like 44,000 or something.
Wow,
so it was full.
Probably 5,000 to 8,000 on the field then.
So then what I was doing from my seats, because I was getting jealous of how close they were, is I was watching tickets for the floor as the concert went, and they're falling and falling and falling. I'm like, if they go down, because I was doing girl math, I bought my tickets like December of last year. So I'm like, free concert.
Hell yeah.
So I was watching them, but then right before Alexis on Fire, they shut off tickets for the floor right as I was going to pull trigger to get down there. But it was good. It was a great show. 8th time I've seen them, so I knew what to expect.
Wow, they're your Grateful Dead.
A little bit, yeah. So it was a great show. It was fun to be in there. I didn't get to see the upgrades that night because that whole section of the stadium was closed, but it was interesting. The millennials gathered. And they were spending money.
Yeah.
And the merch was expensive. The lines for merch were insane.
Did you get anything, or did you do the thing where you ordered a shirt before?
I ordered a shirt online. Like I went up to there was like line managers for merch.
Pull a Jade Aqua?
I thought about it.
Okay.
But then I asked the lady, and I was like, how long is this line to get into like the main Jay store on the concourse? Because that's where they had a big collection of stuff. She goes, it's at least an hour and a half.
Oh, God.
And I go, no, thank you.
And this is happening during the concert?
During the openers. And I don't know what it was like during Blink because I was in my seats, but yeah, just every merch stand they had lined up forever. Like the main one was lined up out the door to outside.
People were waiting just to get in.
You could get like a ticket to queue up and then come back in. It was the last thing I wanted to do.
That is insane.
Yeah.
Have you seen no way you've seen a band more than you've seen Blink then?
No, they'd be the most. Probably.
That's tough to see a band more than 8.
Yeah.
Well, I think like Sum 41 would probably be up there as well, but I didn't always buy tickets to see them. They just happened to be like an opener sometimes, or sometimes I went and saw them, or they were at a festival or whatever. But yeah, Blink for sure would probably be the most.
I do like, usually I don't enjoy these things, but everyone on Instagram right now is doing that Instagram story with like best concert, first concert, all that. And the only reason I'm stopping to read them is to see who everyone's worst concert is. I'm just so fascinated with like who gives a dog shit show. Like, who is yours?
I don't remember who I put.
Oof, I want to go find out.
Yeah, I don't remember who I put. I'll find out.
Is.
But like, yeah, I don't know. I've seen some weird ones. I don't remember what I put in that.
Oh, I've definitely been to some weird concerts, but they sounded fine.
The Aqua concert we went to smelled the worst.
Yeah. Yeah, somebody was really like, really piling up the farts on the floor on that one.
That concert might go in my top 5, aside from the scent.
I'm glad I could be a part of it.
No.
It's the best thing.
I moved from the area, the poop area.
That's your top 5, but that's definitely one of the first things you think of.
It was the shittiest concert.
It was the third retirement show I saw for Motley Crue. Was the worst.
Where was it?
It would have been Rexall Place.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were awful. Vince Neil was out of breath. The songs didn't sound the same. Like they're just old. And I was like, I fell for this twice already. The third one was a disaster.
I worked at the Calgary Saddle Dome as an usher for like an 8-month period out of high school. And I saw a lot of really, really good concerts at that time.
Oh, I can imagine.
Probably the weirdest one that I saw was Lady Gaga. I worked like as an usher.
It would be a scene in there for a Gaga concert.
It was absolutely a scene. Like just like one of those experiences where it's just like, I will certainly not forget this night.
I went to the Gaga concert when it would have been at Rexall. That one saw. Yeah, no, it's a vibe. It's a vibe.
Definitely a vibe.
What was the worst?
Oh man, that's a good question. A lot of the concerts were actually really good. I don't think there was one that stood out as like terrible for me. If I had to pick a best though, it'd probably be Michael Bublé. He performed. It was unbelievable. He sounded so damn good. And like the live band, the show, the stage, everything was just like 10 out of 10 show.
Wow.
Experience. Yeah.
I guess you went in there with like kind of no expectations. And then he just knocked it out of the park. So it just hits more.
It was like I was working, right? So I was just like, I'm not even like really like in it for the concert or anything like that. But it was one of those where I was just like, yeah, this is actually like really, really good.
Wow.
He's a great performer. Great performer.
And a big hockey guy.
And loves soda water.
Loves soda water. Oh.
Arguably gave us one of the greatest presser clips ever from the All-Star break.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do they call mushrooms? Acetaminophen?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. We were talking
psilocybin. Acetaminophen. I think that's Tylenol.
Tylenol, yes.
Yeah.
Very similar.
We have an auction going. It has a day and
an auction for what, Tyler?
To golf with myself, Jay, and Chalmers at the Oilers Nation Open coming up in 8 days at the Millwoods Golf Course, and bidding ends in 27 hours from us recording this, which means it's probably 24 hours by the time you hear this. Shout out to the Millwoods Golf Club. Private club conditions for under $100. Greens are always immaculate. Fully stocked pro shop with loads of local clothing lines. Also, shout out to Star Mechanical and Oodle Noodle for helping us put on the Oilers Nation Open. Jay, I told you before that the bidding has started to get pretty intense.
It's spicy.
You want to take a stab at what you think it is?
Oh, fuck. I don't know. Like, I'm impressed with if it's $1.
Let me guess. $1,500.
Oh, it went up again. $2,700.
Wow.
$2,700?
Holy cow.
Who's bidding?
Good for you guys.
Jeff Bezos
The
entered?
same two guys are just going back and forth. They're throwing haymakers.
Which two guys?
I just see the same because you can see the first and last letter of their email, right?
Can you tell who it is?
I think I can, but I'm not about to out anybody.
Wow, good for them, though. That's amazing.
Oh my God, that's a lot of money.
Good for you guys. Like the people bidding, that's incredible.
What?
It is wild. And it's all going towards Gregor's grads as well. So that is going to buy a lot of suits for some very...
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
He's in the mix.
He's in the mix.
Good for him.
Is who we think it is.
Good for him.
If you want to get in on the last bit of the bidding and up this
Holy shit.
Again, proceeds going towards Gregor's grads. It's great what Gregor does with that. We're always happy to support that as our charity for the ON Open.
Yeah.
And
You guys better put on a show for these kind of
I am stressed.
We have to golf so good now.
So we got to win this thing.
And I know a week ago I said I was playing the best golf of my life. I'm not now.
That's
I'm
playing
hitting a
golf.
which is not good. Now I'm feeling the pressure.
Oh, I played some good golf. I didn't break 80 once, but I played a lot of good golf. I was pretty good, except for the one morning I was a little rough and took me 9 holes to wake up. I went 51-40.
Ooh, 51.
51. I had a quad, a triple, and 2 doubles on the front. That's a lot. I tightened it up after that, but real rough, like 5-6 holes. And the shitty thing was I ended up finding my ball on the hole I took the quad on the next tee box. Oh, if I could have maybe saved 2 or 3 shots. Anyways, tough. It's a scramble, so it doesn't matter. Yeah. If I do that, then Tyler will pick me up.
All we need is Jay's distance off the tee. If that's dialed in, we can win this thing.
Well, I can guarantee you one thing: I'll be nice and lubricated come the first tee,
and you will be too if you win the auction.
We all will. It's a team mandate.
I think, and you can tell me this is a good or bad idea, because what time's the shotgun start?
It's 9 now.
It's 9. I think I'm going to do a bright and early ON every day from like the registration table. Is that a good idea or a bad idea?
I kind of like it.
I think it'd be good to like get the vibe of everyone walking in.
Yeah, let's just make sure Wi-Fi is good.
Yeah.
We're going to work through that out there, but yes. Maybe from the patio upstairs.
Oh yeah, see people.
I think you can overlook and maybe you can heckle some people from up there and not give them a chance to respond back.
Zach, you going to be there?
I'll be there.
Nice.
Probably cruising around in a golf cart.
What?
Are you going to be there?
No, man, I'm there.
Oh, that's Liam who won't be there.
Yeah, I'm there. I'm cruising.
Liam misses all the big temple events.
I confirmed already that my cart is in place. I'm ready. My job is locked in.
Yeah. BM rolling around to different spots is always funny.
Yeah.
I'm excited. That's one of my favorites.
Wow. I'm just shocked with the bidding.
That's amazing.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. Shout out to you guys for bidding on that. That's really incredible.
That's an insane.
Let's see if we can get it to 5. We got 24 hours.
Oh my God.
Get her up to 5.
I feel like we don't. Yeah. I don't know. I feel weird being like, I know it's for a good cause, but like,
you better have some jokes.
We have to perform. You better bring your
jokes
putter.
in store. You better have stories.
Mm-hmm.
Holy cow.
Yeah, we'll have to work on some things.
Yeah. All right. Let's continue along with the show. There was something I wanted to do, and we can make it brought to you by our friends at Bet365. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary. At Bet365, you can download the app today to get in on a huge range of markets. And you can use the promo code OILYBONUS to do so. Use that promo code OILYBONUS. Shout out to our friends at Bet365. There's something I wanted to do. BM's been gone for a little bit, so we haven't gotten his takes, although you can download Better Late Than Never, where he did some episodes and you can listen to his takes. But on the Real Life Pod, BM, you've missed a lot.
I have.
So I want to start with offer sheet drama, because you were gone when that came down.
I was.
What was your first thought on offer sheet drama?
First thought was I love offer sheets. They're entertaining. It's annoying that it happened to the Oilers, this specific instance, especially 2 players. But I love offer sheets. I think they're entertaining. This sport is supposed to be entertainment, and to give us something to talk about in August, loved it. I was surprised they didn't match Holloway. I thought that his offer was kind of not egregious to where we kind of thought his contract would end up.
And he could like realistically perform up to that level.
Yes,
so that
easily.
one I was surprised. Like Broberg, when it was 4-5 something, I go, well, see you later, pal. But yeah, I was surprised they didn't match both. But watching Bowman's presser after made sense. The logic all made sense. They're like, well, we're thinking about right now, and we've also got some major extensions coming down the pipe that we got to think about. And having that extra 6.5, 6.7, whatever it is, tied up on the books would have been a major hurdle to clear.
Well, but that's a next year problem. Like on the Holloway thing, like I understand the Broberg. It's shitty to lose a defense when we've been developing.
Yep.
But remove that. We can't pay him $4 million at this moment. Holloway, if we're just going to do a 1-year deal with him, would be guaranteed making 2+ in year 2.
I thought
so that one doesn't make as much sense to me.
Not quite guaranteed, but I do.
But I believe in the player. I believe what does he have to do to make $2 million? If he scored 35 points, that's probably $2 million.
See, my theory on Holloway is that, and again, I don't know nothing about nothing, but my theory on Holloway is that his agent was probably like, it's an extra $1 million. The Oilers are going to match on this.
Yeah, oh yeah. Because that meme of him going around, like that's a post.
That was in his presser.
Yeah, it says Holloway St. Louis Blues on the picture.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, and he looks
like
pissed.
he's normally a smiley guy in his interviews, and he looked like someone just drowned his cat in that fucking video.
And I feel bad because he wanted to be here, and God damn it, did we want him here?
It's wild that he's just gone. Yeah.
See, I think the Oilers, my theory is that the Oilers were willing to match on Holloway. And on Monday, they went to St. Louis and they were like, hey, we're going to match on Holloway unless you guys give us an extra little something. Because the Oilers picked up that defenseman, Paul Fisher, and a 3rd-round pick in 2028. So my theory is that the Oilers went to the Blues and were like, hey, we're going to match unless you guys give us a little something.
That's what I thought too.
Kind of sneak out an extra.
Because what's the story about this Paul Fisher guy? Because it's very interesting that there's a trade with St. Louis right after all this.
Future considerations too. I love this.
Yeah. Like fifth round pick of the team last year, played his first season at University of Notre Dame, put up some good points. People are kind of saying that like if he was in this draft class, he'd probably be closer to like a 3rd rounder than he is a 5th rounder. So
Steven Ellis's scouting report that he texted me was he's a very good shutdown defenseman, but that's all he's good at.
That's fine.
Fine. Also, he was hurt in his draft year. So
also, I saw Ellis too. Like, who knows if he ever makes the NHL? But like, the Oilers need players on their depth chart.
Well, yeah, they need organizational depth just in general, right? Especially on the left side. I mean, Tyler, you've been talking about that too, right? Like, I think just at the very least to get another body that could potentially come in and play in the American League, maybe play some NHL minutes down the road. I'm fine with that.
I think Emberson's going to be interesting.
Yes.
That's the one that I'm most intrigued
bullish.
by. The spreadsheet boys
nothing about
love
this
him.
guy.
Yes.
The spreadsheet boys love him.
Dom Lucian's model has him at a $5.8 million defenseman.
What I read,
So if
the
he's
take
half
I
right
read
on that,
was that he's better Cody Ceci at a 3rd the price.
yeah. Well, so why not extend him now?
Can you? I don't know what his contract
I
looks
don't-
like. I have
I
no
don't know
idea.
the
He just
He's in his
signed
last
a
year.
1-year deal in like this past offseason or like in April or something.
Oh,
So I don't think they could sign him to a new deal until like after January 1st or something like that.
okay.
I think there's some kind of rule with that. But
Like-
I agree with you. Like I think he's going to be
Long term, short money, small money,
That'd be good.
long and
Especially
small.
in that, though. Like if
The
he
intention.
can put together good results on the Sharks, he should be able to put together some pretty good results.
And I
here.
hear he's sneaky physical.
You like that.
I love that.
You love a nice mean defenseman. I heard one of his biggest strengths is clearing the front of the net.
I think he's the perfect partner for Darnell Nurse. I think he's the perfect Nurse partner because of that.
Because he's better Cody Ceci.
Because then that
Better Cody
takes,
Ceci.
yeah, and that like takes Darnell away from just because when it's so Nurse is so interesting for a lot of reasons, but when he tries to be physical, it's like at the expense of the rest of his game. And because it's not like you always see like it's a forced thing, like, and he goes out of his way, and it's like, no, that stuff should be natural, and you pick your spots naturally to be like that. So if someone's gonna be kind of that workhorse that does all that and now allows like kind of the raw ability and like, you know, gets pucks loose and he can move the puck out of the zone and be the human breakout, which he can be with his feet. That's an interesting dynamic.
Although Stetcher and Nurse had good numbers together
They
in
did.
very small sample size.
Yeah, well, yeah, Stetcher does not do that kind of work for Nurse.
See, the thing for me with Nurse over the last 2 years, especially playing with CC, is it always felt like he was trying to do too much in the defensive zone. He was trying to cover up too much of the warts of what Cody Ceci is defensively.
Yeah.
And it feels like it took Nurse away from his game.
Yes.
Because that's what he always was. He was always like a puck mover, bring the puck up the ice, transport it, got some offense in his game. You know, look what he did offensively during the North Division.
Who was it? Who was his partner that year? Was it CC? Was that his first year at CC?
No, I think
That might have been Larson, wasn't it?
It was either Larson or I think it might have even been Ethan Bear.
I'm trying
Like
to
it
remember.
feels like that was 300 years ago. That's why I can't even piece who his partner
Yeah.
was.
I was trying to remember Matt Larkin's line. He had a funny line when I was on the phone with him the other day that the best day of Cody Ceci's tenure with your team is the one when he leaves.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Oh,
I was like, and then I was thinking about it. I was like, Oilers fans have been trading Ceci since the day he signed that
That's
contract.
true.
It just took 3 years.
his
to get
first year with us was fine.
I like this
yeah,
first year.
his
Yeah.
first
There's
year was
another
good.
angle too on Ceci is he's been very healthy the entire time he was here. He only missed 9 games in 3 years. So
That has been like a big plus, even with Nurse too. Like The Oilers' blue line over the last however many seasons has stayed remarkably healthy in the regular season.
Yeah, we can't. But the thing is, like, they need to. We can't handle too many setbacks.
That's what I mean. But that's why another thing that's confusing is all this Tyson Barrie talk right now.
Which I don't get either. Like,
For the Oilers?
yeah, as a
there's talk that
PTO
they've
candidate.
Dustin Nielsen says they've talked to him about a PTO.
Oh my God.
I mean,
cannot-
sure.
no, I
But like,
cannot
we
do
have
that.
Bouchard doing Bouchard things. Why do we need an older version?
Correct. I also think like when you
And
look,
Troy Stetcher's there too.
so when you look at the Oilers' right side, like Bouchard, obviously, and then there's Emberson, Stetcher, Josh Brown, and Connor Carrick. So you have, including Bouchard, 5 guys who've played in the NHL before.
Mhm.
On the left side, you have 3. Because after the big 3, Ekholm, Nurse, and Kulak, it's Ben Gleason.
Hell yeah.
So they should. My thing is they should probably need another lefty more than they
Don't
need
we
a
like
righty.
Ben Gleason?
When was the last time we played in the NHL?
He's an AHL guy.
He was
We
good
like
in,
him.
in the
Love a
preseason,
depth.
But like,
Yeah.
The thing too is
Preseason
like,
means everything.
Connor Carrick is like has the same profile as a player as Tyson Barrie does, like an offensive defenseman, move the puck. He played with Coachella Valley last year, and he was like one of the highest scoring defensemen in the American League last year. Like he's got a lot of offense to his game. He's played in the NHL in the past. Yeah, okay, it was like 4 or 5 years ago when he played serious NHL minutes. But like, if the Oilers want to have a right shot puck moving defenseman, well, they just signed one in free agency. That's the thing that doesn't make sense to me about why people are talking about Tyson Barrie, because like in those bottom 2 right D slots, they need solid defensive players, which is what Emberson is. Troy Stetcher is sneaky good defensively as well.
Emerson's right shot.
He's a right shot Emberson, right? So why do they need another right shot defenseman? They don't.
they need depth on the left side, and I think on the right side right now, I just think you look there and you go like, we made our bets. We know what we're in for.
We
and-
made a lot of bets.
They've acquired 4 right shot NHL defensemen or NHL caliber defensemen this offseason alone.
Boy, that offer sheet week was a wild roller coaster. Because for a while it was like they're not matching either, and then it was like, oh my god, they traded Cece, or no, they acquired Podkolzin first, and it was like, oh, they're gonna keep Broberg maybe, and then Holloway's gonna go, and then when they traded Cece, it was like, wait, no, everyone's staying, and then no one stayed.
But Colson still have some upside, or he is who he is?
I actually like the hedge with Podkolzin, a 4th round pick. Come on.
Yeah, they traded nothing for him.
Mhm.
And this is a guy who, you know, he's had a weird development path because he went back to Russia for 2 years after his draft year, and he didn't really get the playing time that he really needed to over there. And then he came to North America, had a great first season in Vancouver, you know, scored a dozen goals, 30 points, something like that.
14 goals.
14 goals. There you go. And then the last 2 years, it's just been like between the NHL and the AHL, good numbers in the American League, but hasn't been able to play consistently in the NHL. The one thing about Podkolzin that I really like is he's got solid defensive value. Like his defensive metrics are pretty good. And Holloway, actually last year, his defensive metrics were a lot better than I was anticipating or thinking that they were. So to me, like when I saw Podkolzin, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, they're not going to match on Holloway. And like you said, Tyler, as soon as the CC deal happened, I was like, oh my God, now I don't know what to think. But they cleared enough cap space to be able to match if they wanted to put Kane on the LTIR, which they ultimately didn't want to do, which I think ultimately is a smart move.
I just reached out to Big Dave when I saw the trade.
You know, you
got
have to.
You got to. He's the authority on all
The
things
first
Canucks.
person you call.
And he loves the Podkolzin bet for the Oilers. Loves it.
Podkolzin found out about the trade while he was at an IKEA.
Oh, Billy
In
Bookshelf.
Vancouver?
maybe.
I think so. I'm assuming he said he was getting furniture for his new apartment.
And I know like we're talking about low goal totals for Podkolzin and Holloway kind of over their young career so far. Podkolzin actually has a higher goals per game average than Holloway does.
I hate here. I just loved Holloway.
I do too.
I love
You got the fresh jersey.
fresh jersey.
But like Podkolzin's draft profile was like bull in a china shop. Like a power forward, like play physical, hits guys. He could be like a Klim Kostin 2.0.
Quad says he killed penalties in Russia.
Quad, yeah.
Zach, you're getting me fucking excited, bro.
Quads loves the bet.
I think it's a great bet. I really do.
And the net result is we're going to have a shit ton of cap space come traded line, like,
Well, and that's the other thing too, is that
which is
not
something we
matching
haven't had.
gave the Oilers cap flexibility that they otherwise would not have had.
So, yeah, it's kind of.
Like $8 million in savings from not matching and trading away Cody Ceci with bringing in Emberson and Podkolzin.
And then
So
now
is
you
it-
can
so
be
then
under
is
the
the plan
cap.
to be cap compliant at the start of the season and then LTIR
Yeah.
It sounds like they want to keep Kane on the active roster or have him on the injured reserve
until they absolutely need the cap space.
and then they could put him on LTIR.
Okay.
So
And then they can
does
accrue.
that get them more? Or no, it
They'll
doesn't
be
get 'em-
accruing now. Yeah.
Yeah, they'll be accruing, whereas before they wouldn't have been able to accrue.
Oh, because they can accrue if they're not in LTIR.
That's right.
Bingo.
So now they have the room to absorb him on not LTIR
So
and still accrue some cap space.
So they'll
then
be-
flip him down, have that accrued space they had, plus that $5 million of him going
There
down.
you go. And also, for the first time, Tyler, how many years
Now
is
we
that?
GMing, folks.
The Oilers are going to start the season with a full roster.
yeah, they're gonna have like a healthy scratch or two.
Yeah.
Wow.
Pretty cool.
That's
So they
neat.
can accrue, according to our the good man at Puckpedia, $4.4 million in cap space they could accrue. And
With
then
Kane
if-
on the roster.
with Kane on the roster.
Plus put him on LTIR and get
9.4
5. Holy!
So we're
I am sorry, Bet365, but Edmonton is going to be hammering Oilers to win the cup. I was trying to be
Have the
good.
odds changed?
I was just pulling that up right now.
Oilers Cup odds? Are they getting a little juicier now?
Hockey
Curious.
futures.
Yesterday on Better Late, you're looking that up.
I am smoking it.
I'm going to do it too. But like yesterday on Better Late Than Ever, I was having fun with their future bets on Bet365 are so fun. But I always look at the Oilers futures and like, cup win, division win, all that stuff. Yesterday I went in the reverse. They have odds for who's going to be the worst teams in the NHL.
Oh, I love
Those are so much fun to look at. So again, sorry, Cody CC. The Sharks are favored by a healthy margin to
They're
be
like-
the worst
They're
team.
barely plus money. Hey,
I love it.
poor Sharks. Who else is down there?
Are you pulling up the cup odds?
Yeah, they're 9-1. So
Plus 800.
Oh, so it hasn't even moved.
as
Odds
not
on
moved.
favorite?
Yeah, plus 800. Then it goes Devils, Panthers, Stars, Avs.
Devils.
Devils?
Like
The Devils. So they got Markstrom.
but like Markstrom's not.
And Sheldon Keefe.
I love that.
They'll get back a healthy Dougie Hamilton, which will be a nice boon.
That's actually a legit add back to their lineup,
it's-
but I don't know that
And they
Markstrom's a difference
added,
maker.
Brett Pesce.
Oh, he's legit too.
Older Luke Hughes, older Simone Nemec.
Jack Hughes will be healthy.
Jack Hughes will be healthy.
To start the season.
Added Thomas Tatar.
Ta-ta.
Ta-da!
And Sheldon Keefe, guys.
Yeah.
Mm.
A big
Big guy.
FU to the Maple Leafs.
Yeah.
I
he's
still
got
love
a chip
the
on his
video that
shoulder.
he did.
From his
Like
boat
see-
or whatever.
Yeah, on
Yeah.
like the edge of the water saying goodbye and thank you to the Leafs fan. And you could just tell that he was just like thankful to be leaving Toronto.
As somebody who is also thankful to have just left Toronto, I feel that. You guys ever drive there?
Oh, it's
Toronto?
the worst.
No, in Toronto.
Oh, no.
I've been in Ubers and that's enough.
So after the Blink concert, we kind of did like an impromptu, like, let's go to Niagara Falls. It's an hour and change away.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, I'll rent a car. Holy cow, what a decision that was to drive through downtown Toronto to get on the 403 and go out. What an adventure. I don't know how anybody drives in that city.
Yeah, so every time I've driven there, because the last couple of years I've done the drive from Toronto to Buffalo,
Yeah.
I've Ubered to the airport and just gotten my rental car there to save myself the stress.
I was thinking about that too, but then so I found one right near my hotel, a rental place, and I'm like, okay, I'll rent a car. So I get a Corolla, just whatever.
Yeah.
That's what they had. And then I show up and they go, your Corolla's not here. I'm like, okay, we got a brand new BMW for you.
Sick.
I'm like, sick. But then as I get in the car, first of all, I don't know how it works because all the buttons are, it's like a spaceship. So then I finally get it going and then I'm out in this traffic and there's bodies everywhere. That was easily the most hour and a half stressful drive I've had in quite some time.
It moves slow.
Have you been in Niagara Falls though?
Yeah. Well, yes.
This time,
Wait.
Driven through.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you haven't stopped.
Haven't stopped.
this time I did a Falls View room. What an experience that is. It's just
Beautiful.
like a fucking gnarly, insane thing to open a window and look at.
Yeah.
How loud was it?
You could kind of hear the roaring of it a little bit, but it was fine. It was more like a white noise. That was actually quite relaxing.
That'd be nice.
Yeah.
Big white noise guy. While he's
Love a white noise.
Did you hit the casinos?
That was the only thing we didn't do.
Wow.
Didn't do the Nino. No, the miss isn't a big gambler, so I would have been there
Yes.
because we kept walking past it. I'd be like, craps. No takers.
What else? Oh, Big Brother.
Oh, wow.
I didn't watch last night. Oh,
Tyler, it's so good.
I was golfing.
We'll
It's
watch
so
in the
good.
morning.
I got caught up. Tucker is one of my favorite Big Brother players of quite some time.
You know, I like him, but then I'm like, oh, you're playing Terry doing this, but I'm like, this is why I like you.
Yeah.
He's making the season great.
You know who I'm starting to like again, or starting to like is Quinn.
Yeah, he's an interesting.
I want to see if those two can get to, because Tucker is about competition. I wonder if they do it. Like he's like got such an ego on him,
like a
Tucker,
sneaky backdoor.
to be like, let's fight this to the end. You and I.
Sneaky
I want
backdoor
the
lines.
competition.
Nobody would see it coming.
I could like if Quinn is smart, he should be trying to do that.
Yeah,
and I think being honest and stuff. Oh, I can't talk. You can't talk. You can't let me talk. I can't talk.
All I know is this season has been the most entertaining in a while.
Finally we got a house vote flip
Yes.
And we've gotten 2 this season.
or
now.
a vote flip.
Yeah.
And then the third nominee with the AI, it just adds a different kind of layer to it.
It's because you can't do the traditional backdoor. It makes it so much better.
Yep.
Because that's the only reason Tucker's still in the house is because he's been able to save himself so many times.
Mhm.
Which is
That guy's
great.
Comp beast.
I don't know when the last time he lost a
Did he? Well, I can't. Yeah, I don't know. I can't talk about anything.
I don't care. The veto results or whatever.
Angela won the veto.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh my God, she's a comp beast.
she is. She's like second to Tucker.
And I also love that she tells everyone off.
Yeah.
Well, I was really hoping for a
It's so
meltdown.
good.
I thought like one was percolating there.
Yeah, last night.
Like
Yeah.
I was just like, come on, this is the chance.
I
You're
thought it
doing
was
that
coming
thing
too.
when you lay on the floor and you're obsessing about what's happening. I thought she was gonna come down and give it.
I'm hopeful that it still happens.
It's sitting with her.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
She's a grudge holder.
you take my charcuterie.
Oh, come on.
I'm
Meats and
coming for you.
cheeses.
I can't wait to watch this episode now. Now
It's
you got
good.
More hype.
Yeah, it's good.
Sometimes I don't mind knowing what's going to happen and then seeing how things play out and how they edit the episodes. That'll be good. I'm excited to see how things go. What else did I have written down? No, that was it.
That's it. We'll just sit in silence for the next 15 minutes.
How much time do we got? Well, it's a good time to step aside for a quick break.
22 minutes.
Back on the Real Life Podcast, back half of the pod, brought to you by our friends at Will Hawk Beef Jerky, Alberta's best tasting beef jerky. Get your jerky on. Go to willhawkbeefjerky.com. Vacuum sealed is available, so you can order it and get it shipped. Makes it, as this says, excellent for traveling and for gifts with Christmas coming up.
Road jerky.
Oh, road
I'm
jerky's
telling you,
legit.
road jerky. Christmas jerky, even better.
Christmas road jerky.
I might buy myself Christmas jerky.
Put it in the stocking.
Forget that
stocking.
you bought it for yourself.
Yeah.
And then pleasant surprise.
I'll just write Santa or to me from Frank on it. Be nice.
Oh, that's a good way to do it.
Yeah.
When Amber and I, the first year we lived together, I did a fun thing. I like woke up in the middle of the night and I put stuff in our stockings. When she woke up in the morning, I was like, "Oh, Santa!" And it was a great thing. But now I've turned into a great way to guilt-free buy myself whatever I want at Christmas.
Yeah, it's
God,
great.
that is smart. I love that,
Yep.
Tyler.
And if Amber's like, "Why did you spend this much money on yourself?" I'll be like, "No, Santa."
See, like that's a great move. Whereas again, our boy Waz yesterday, he left me a message. Yesterday was his
Who
girlfriend.
still believes in Santa?
He does. Yesterday was his girlfriend's birthday. So he left me a voicemail and he goes, I need some advice on how to fix a problem.
Oh no, was.
Yes.
So in the days leading up to her,
The Keurig pods was not a sufficient birthday present.
Oh, I forgot about
well, it's better than that.
that's-
In the days leading up, he said, what do you want for your birthday? And she gave the standard answer, don't get me anything.
Oh, he listened.
Oh,
And so guess who did not buy her anything for her birthday?
oh no.
And she went something like, I'm paraphrasing, did you really not get me anything? And he goes, I can get you a massage. And then he was like, she didn't want the massage. I don't know what I did wrong. She told me not to get her anything.
Waz, if you're listening, that was a test and you failed.
Yes.
Why? Well, like,
Listen, if it's Amber's birthday and she tells you, I don't want anything, you're going to get her something anyway.
or I'm at least gonna like plan a whole like night and take her places. But
Yeah, you don't just take it at face value and show
Yeah.
up on day of and go like, nah, whoopsies, you told me. Just listened.
Why would you do that? I mean, like, I'm not surprised because again, Keurig cup thing, very funny.
Well, it's
loose Keurig cups too.
Waz takes everything at face value.
That is right. Very black and white.
So I'm gonna sit and actually go on to Team Waz here.
All right.
and say Mrs. Waz
She should have known better.
should know better.
I mean, Jay, you
like it's normally I would never do this, but it's Waz.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Like it's Waz. You know that you've been with the guy for a long time now. And
Been there a minute.
like it's you got to test him in other ways. You should test him by telling him exactly what you want and see if he can actually get you that.
Yeah, that's right.
That's the test.
But to me, I always relate it to the thing, or if I'm going to like, if I'm going to A&W and I'm going to go get myself a teen burger today and Mrs. says, I don't want anything. I'm getting her fries or something.
Just get a large fries.
Yeah. Just that's the move. That's
Because what's the worst case scenario?
I just eat the fries.
Now.
And that's, again, if I could give Waz any advice, when she says, like, I don't want anything for my birthday, at least plan a night. And then, like, worst case, you had a fun night.
Or buy something that if she ends up staying true to it, you can use.
Yeah.
Yes.
Gotta play that better. Waz, this
It's
is their first birthday together. Like, they've been together a while.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Maybe shame on her.
Maybe.
That's right.
That's
Yeah.
all. It's
Actually,
only because it was in the equation. Any of you guys, you fucked up.
Yeah. Well, we got to teach him. So hard lessons were learned yesterday.
Oh God, Waz. Good
Happens.
Waz story. Friday night was my birthday.
Oh,
And
birthday.
Happy belated.
thank you very much. Went out, got a couple sheets to the wind at one of the local establishments in downtown Edmonton, and then went to see the Deadpool movie, which I was way too drunk to go see.
Ooh, drunk movies don't end well. Yeah.
That sounds awful.
That ends with a
it
nap
was-
for me.
It was a disaster. Nonetheless, Waz wanted to buy me a pint of Guinness, but at the time that Waz arrived where I was at the time, we were already about to leave to head to the movie. So I said to him, don't worry, I'm going to be back here by like midnight. Don't worry, Waz. Well, after the movie ended, I was instructed that I needed to go home and I could not return to this establishment because of the condition that I was in. And Waz texted me being like, hey, are you here? And I was like, Waz, I am lying in bed right now because I was told I was too drunk to be anywhere else right now. And he's like, you know what, Zach? I respect that.
Sometimes you just got to
I like
So
that
he
he
sat and waited.
He sat and
He
waited.
sat and waited for me.
He's still there.
God bless him.
For a second, I thought
Probably is.
He's still there.
Zach
right
said
now.
to wait for him. I'm waiting.
He could still be there.
he was at A&W, confirmed. He was there today.
You got to see Hunter.
Hunter joining Oilers Nation every day for an appearance is the funniest thing ever for so many reasons.
Whoa. This is breaking news.
He was live on the show, Jay.
What was he doing? What did he say?
So we did a little thing. So before the show, when we were getting ready, he came and sat in the booth with us and he put the headset on his ear. And I said, Hunter, if you're going to sit there, I'm going to ask you questions.
there with Crawford.
Yeah. And so I asked Hunter a couple of things. First, I said, why don't we see little Hunter more? And then I was going to say, is it a custody issue? And I was like, no, I shouldn't say that. That might not go over well. So I asked him why.
Yeah, you cannot slight Hunter.
I know. I said, why don't you see little Hunter more? And he like did a little hand thing. And I said, where's Flex the dog? And he just like pointed at himself. And then
I think it implies that he ate the dog.
Well, that's
He's
in
a
his,
lynx.
That's in his instincts.
He's a predator.
And then, yeah, when he popped back on for the show, we just kind of like pointed the camera at him and he showed his abs and like did a little kooky thing. He also climbed over the booth to get in. So he like almost kicked over all our shit.
Nice.
It was wild.
Oh,
the best.
Hunter.
Apparently he's a fan of the show.
He's the best.
So shout out to Hunter.
You know what? As I was at the Jays game on Monday, I was watching Ace do his thing. Ace doesn't hold a candle to Hunter.
But every Sunday for Junior J's, or sorry, every Saturday for Junior J's Saturday, Ace's kid is with him. So why can't we get little Hunter on more?
Well, Hunter's there for every kid day.
I guess.
What's Hunter? Kit. Kit is there.
Yeah.
I think it's got to be a custody issue.
Oh,
It's custody issue. Also, I asked.
well,
Hunter,
you know, we've never seen Mrs. Hunter. To be fair,
yeah, it's not our story to tell.
that's accurate.
We were also talking in the office today about how funny it would be if there was like, you know, Flex the dog didn't work and then Cam said they should get a cat, team cat. But it'd be very funny if like there was just a cat that lived at Rogers and everyone was like cool with it.
I like to imagine a feral cat though, just cruising the concourse.
Yeah,
You get too
clawing
close
at
to it,
people.
claws come out.
Yeah.
he's got
You're like
personality.
waiting in line for a beer. You're like going down the escalator and the cat's like sitting on the side.
Or just jumps on your face.
Yeah.
Cats aren't that mean.
Oh, yes, they are.
Buddy.
It would be like a modern version of the Rexall pigeon. Does everybody remember the Rexall pigeon?
Rexall pigeon.
Of course.
Do you remember the one Oilers game like 3 years ago where you could hear a dog barking?
Barking just incessantly in the broadcast.
Flex?
No, that was someone with a service dog.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Oh my
And I remember I was living in a condo at the time with Amber, and we're watching the game, and he just kept being like, "Oh, oh, oh." And Amber was like, "There's a dog on the TV." I'm like, "Amber, that is so obviously a dog outside our condo. Like, don't be an idiot." And then like game goes on, you keep hearing it, and I'm like, that is getting very annoying. Like whoever's outside of their dog right now has been out there for a while. Then I checked Twitter, and people were like, "There's a dog on the screen," and I had to apologize to Amber for calling her dumb for thinking there was a dog on.
I was walking down Queen Street, and there was somebody in front of me with a service dog. It is amazing how they navigate stuff.
Oh, yeah.
It is incredible. Cruising through people, looping through, stopping at lights. Dogs know.
Shout out in Edmonton, Dogs with Wings that train service dogs. Because, man, they do a good job. And, man, those dogs are just so good.
It's amazing.
Yeah. I have Hot Dog as a service dog.
Yeah, Frank is my service dog.
I saw a thing down in Calgary. I think it was like Dashin' Days. There's like a little festival.
Oh yeah. There's a guy in Edmonton so I think he's called like Wiener World that he turns like his. Yeah. It's not what you want it to be, but
maybe Dashin' World would have been better.
Yeah, it's something like that, or Wienerland. And he just takes like this big chunk of his land and turns into like this amusement park obstacle course for dash-ons.
That's what I'm thinking of because I saw something.
I would love something like that for Boston Terriers, like a Boston Terrier zone, and there's just a bunch of Franks
like
everywhere.
A ninja course because those guys are
Very
so agile. Yeah,
very agile. Right now at my house, though, Frank is having a bad time because they're replacing the shingles on our complex.
Oh, losing it. Traumatizing.
He does not appreciate people on my roof. And I don't blame him.
Oh, that would drive a dog nuts.
And they're just the air guns all day.
Oh, yeah.
Bring him into the office. Or would he not handle it well here?
Oh, he would love it here. I just think nobody would get anything done. He'd be cruising.
It'd be fun.
I'll bring him in. I've been saying that for many years.
I just lock I bring Hot Dog and I just lock him in my office. I don't lock, but
Yeah, it's like glass.
He and I have a stalemate every time he's in here.
Yeah.
I like to stare at him through the door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You into dog?
Oh God, no. We're dog sitting Amber's parents' dog, and I hate the little thing. Pisses me off every day. We're finally getting my fence redone.
Oh yeah.
But
you negotiated the terms?
Yeah, we're all good.
Okay.
Quote was less than I thought when I first went to the neighbor, so everyone's going to be really happy. Haven't seen the neighbor again since I got the pricing sorted out. And again, I'm not going to go ring their doorbell and talk to them. That's insane. So I haven't. The guy was supposed to start today or tomorrow, and it was yesterday. And I was like, I haven't told the neighbors that the guy's coming to start tomorrow, and they have dogs. So I was like, I felt like I should probably give them a heads up. Then as I was mulling it over, the guy texted me. He was like, "Hey, I'm delaying till next week." And I'm like, "Oh, perfect. I've bought myself some time."
Yeah.
But I should probably tell them the expected day for the start of construction.
Do you have to do plugs or anything for the fence, or just a straight negotiation?
Straight negotiation. It's done. The guy who runs the fencing company does listen to the show though. So shout out to James. But we had the fence redone, but the people have been coming to mark the utility lines because you got to get the 3 different little things.
Yep.
And it's while we're house sitting for this dog, or sorry, dog sitting. And every time those utility people go into the backyard, the dog just loses its mind. It's like the size of my laptop and it just barks like crazy.
He's doing dog things, man.
This dog,
That's
keep
a dog.
saying.
What am I supposed to call it?
It's
I don't know.
name.
What's the name?
The name's Bella.
Well,
And it's a
There you
little
go.
yappy dog.
Bella
Yeah, Frank's
is a
yappy
yapper.
too.
I
but
do
like,
like the dog. Sometimes I like it. And then sometimes I go, Amber, this makes me want a dog less.
sometimes
I like the dog.
So I dropped off when I was away. I dropped my dog off at my dad's place.
Mhm.
It's a very different experience at my dad's place for the dog because he just lets Frank run free on his yard. He's got about like probably a half acre is what he's got. And he just lets the dog run free. So when I go to pick him up, Frank almost looks disappointed.
Oh yeah, it's Wonderland for him.
Yeah, he was living his best life. He's digging in the garden. He's getting fresh fruit off the vines. He's living his best life. Now he's back in a townhouse.
That's like
where they're nailing the roof constantly, and he
Yes.
doesn't know what that means.
And he's by himself right now,
Yeah.
and he's just like probably pissed off.
we went. This is not about. Well, every time we bring our dog to Crawford's grandparents, Hot Dog doesn't want to leave because their yard is great. That same thing, leaving out. But now we left Crawford with her grandparents for 2 weeks while we went on our little trip, and we're met, like we FaceTime Crawford every day, and they're like, we're coming home tomorrow, and Crawford's like, don't.
Oh, that's a tough one.
I know, like she doesn't know what she means. Like she means it in the moment because like she means like I'm having so much fun right this second. I don't want to stop what I'm doing. Like you learn all this stuff because like some like there's hurtful things that get said all the time, but she doesn't know the impact or actually what she means.
Yeah.
But that stung. But the interesting thing is the best thing we ever did was set Crawford to Grandpa and Grandma camp for 2 weeks because we went and had an amazing trip.
Yeah.
And we came back and Crawford was potty trained.
Whoa,
Wow.
that's a break.
They
Grandma
put the
just
work in.
like, or Bobcha, as we like to say, right, Waz?
Mhm.
Bobcha was determined, and they went camping and did a lot of outdoor work. And now Crawford does not skip a beat. She is fully potty trained.
That
Dialed
is
That's all you got to do. Send them to the grandparents. Go away for a couple weeks. Done.
that's like an LTIR injury getting you out of cap hell.
Yeah.
It's very liberating.
You wake up one morning and you're like, job's done for me.
We're good.
It was, part of me was kind of like, oh, I wish I could have, like, it's the thing that I missed, but like
That
we
was
tried to do it a little bit. She doesn't listen to us.
Yeah.
Like she listens to her grandma,
Yeah.
like explicitly. She fucks with us. She'll go as far as Eva will be like, you got to come home. She's being a little a-hole. And I'll open the door, and the first thing she'll say to me is, I'm not listening to mommy. And I'm like, okay, let's do this.
So she's self-aware.
She's very self-aware. So so that's why for us, we'd still be potty training her. Send her to the Bobcha camp, 2 weeks, done.
Potty train boot camp.
I might just start taking that approach with you.
Yeah.
If I'm like doing something or like a
But do you need potty train?
no,
You okay?
like, no, I'm good at pissing. Like fucking,
Elite even.
like dialed in right now. I'm
Yeah.
having some of the best pisses of my life.
Okay.
But not just if I'm not in the mood to do something around you, I'll just be like, oh, I'm not listening to you today.
It's astonishing.
Yeah.
It's and I even last night she kept doing this one thing. She kept throwing things at Hot Dog. Right? Like she like and I brought home noodle last night, and she's taking noodles and throwing them on the floor, and I'm like, can you stop doing that? Can you stop doing that? Can you stop doing that? And then finally she grabbed her fork and whipped it at Hot Dog. So I put my hand on the table. I'm like, Crawford. And then she loses her shit, goes right to mom, and she immediately says, Dada is mad at me because I threw a fork at Hot Dog. Like, she knows exactly what she did. And she's upset.
She's gaslighting you.
It's interesting.
I don't know why he's mad at me. I just threw a fork at the dog.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's quite interesting.
That's
It's
what
a
I'm
very
making.
cute age. Like you're also kind of like, but like you just don't hurt the dog. Like I can get over throwing noodles on the floor. If we can get over that, we can clean that. But like, I don't want Hot Dog traumatized by you because then he's gonna attack you every chance he has.
I also saw she was making cookies the other day.
She is, she's avid baker. It's in the DNA.
Lovely.
Her Jajo is a baker. Which is grandpa. Polish.
Fake.
You okay?
I just think that's so funny.
She's at a very cute age, but also very mischievous.
Yeah, I believe that.
Yeah.
I imagine Hot Dog loves the noodles being thrown on the floor.
Oh, it's Hot Dog
Deal
puts
with
up
the odd fork. Yeah.
like he's like, don't worry, I'll take anything to eat all this food I get. Like he just follows her around, and because she's always dropping something, always. And Hot Dog just picks up those crumbs. He eats like a king. He's also, according to the vet, a little overweight.
So you're both on Operation
why.
Keep It Tight. Because I thought I was surprising you with a root beer float from A&W. You had one sip and said, I'm good.
I'm good. I do love a root beer float. Oh, it's so good. I got it right
Staring
here.
at ya.
I've been sipping. I want to sip more on it. But
So I'm guessing you're not hitting the 21 for the Burgers to Beat MS Day.
well, if I was there today, I would have crushed 3 on the show. Like I promised, I would have for sure.
I think I'll be at 2 tonight.
Was
I'll go
that
for
for
2
you?
tonight.
Yeah. Well, no,
I'll
I'm,
grab 2, at least 2.
2 is
Onion
fine.
rings,
2
2.
is a very
Get some
comfortable
drinks.
number.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I can do that on the way home.
Yeah. 2 teen burgers, no onions.
Ooh.
There's also pickles and mustard on there. There's a lot on a teen burger. They're loaded up.
Probably a lot for you to process.
So what? You normally just like a burger that's just a bun and a piece of meat.
I like matzo burgers
Yeah.
because it's got burger sauce. And the A&W burger sauce is very good.
Uh-huh.
Why don't you burger sauce up the team burger then? I'm sure they'll custom for you.
Oh, maybe. But the matzo burger also doesn't have pickles on it. So I like that. I don't like pickles.
So
then I don't
teen
have-
burger, no pickles.
I'm not a big mustard guy. Oh, you do no onion. You're no better.
No.
And I take it as the artist presents.
I'll get there.
I would feel like an old soul like you would like mustard
I love mustard.
because it's not exotic.
Yeah.
It's like it's one of like the standard condiments. It's not like a garlic aioli.
You can get in the weeds if you so choose.
If you want to go deep into the mustard game, you can.
Mm-hmm.
See,
You
I'm,
can.
I'm naturally a mama burger guy. I love my mama burgers at A&W.
What's the difference in a mama burger?
It's mozzarella,
Ooh.
onion, pickles, and they have like some kind of sauce on it too. Like
That's probably the burger
like a
sauce.
mayo kind of sauce. That's
orange
really
burger
good.
sauce.
That's always been my go-to.
I love a buddy burger because then I feel like I can get 12 of them and just
The
knock 'em back.
caramelized onions on them are so
Lovely.
good.
Okay, here's my hack I do on the road because fries are high in calories, whatever. Greasy though, greasy on the steering wheel.
That's an issue.
And your French fries, you get the chubby chicken fingers.
Sure.
Those are your fries. You get a 3 or 5 piece of those. Dip it in honey mustard,
Sweet and sour.
sour.
The
That's
options
good
are
move.
endless.
Those are your fries, or your fries are a second burger.
I'm more of a fan of my fries being a wrap. The wraps at A&W are good.
So you get a
2 for
burger and a
$5.
wrap.
Two wraps because they're little. 2 little wraps and a burger.
Gotcha.
I like that.
Shout out their. I do like onion rings for some weird reason. I'll eat onion rings.
That is interesting. That you
It's because
like
it's the raw onion, and so that's the thing. So there's raw onion on the burgers, but if you cook the shit out of an onion, it's fine.
It's fair.
Mm.
It
They don't
doesn't
really
taste.
taste like
it doesn't have
much
that
of
like
anything.
pungentness.
Yeah.
So the O rings, delicious.
And the seasoning that A&W has on those onion rings are
Oh,
amazing.
their seasoning is so good.
You know what? Burgers to Beat MS Day. If you don't want a team burger, you just make a donation.
Yeah, that's what I did. I got a matzo burger and then donated $5.
You better have.
I did. I can show you the receipt.
I'm not.
And you got a fresh tea.
And I got a Burgers to Beat MST.
That's nice.
Is that one of the staff shirts that they had?
Yep. I asked if I could get my hands on the grill a little bit. I've been really into barbecuing this summer. They said no.
Did you tell me your
You're barbecuing frozen vegetables?
Yep, I'll do that. My barbecue has a little burner on the side, so you put a pan there while you're barbecuing.
Did you mention you had your pro serve? Maybe they'll let you back there.
No, they don't serve alcohol. They do have non-alcoholic beers now at the NW.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's part of their thing with the Blue Jays. Maybe it's only in Ontario, but I saw it on the Jays game the other day because they have a combo that's a burger and a bud.
Love to go to A&W for a non-alcoholic beer.
I like non-alcoholic beers. I remember there was an Oilers playoff game this year. You had like 6.
Yeah, we were at Greta and you
That
were
was
having the
game
non-alcoholic beers.
5.
Well, our playoff run turned into a marathon.
It sure did.
God, did it
And
ever.
we went into it thinking it would be, not thinking it would be a sprint. We went into it playing it like it was a sprint.
Yeah, and yeah,
We got after it now.
and that was a stressful game too. And I just stuck to the non-alkies.
I think it took us all by surprise how long getting to the Stanley Cup Finals actually is.
It
Like,
also,
it's a significant time period.
It's an
been
amount of
6
time, but it
weeks.
also goes
Yeah,
by
7
like
weeks.
blink
Yeah.
of an eye.
That's kind of like when I got back from vacation. I'm like, oh man, we're already in late August.
Buddy, it's September now.
no, it's
Pretty
not.
much.
No, it is.
Also, September doesn't mean the end of summer.
no, it's already fall. Sorry.
No,
My birthday is officially the start.
you
of
can
fall.
still have summer fun in September.
Yeah, of course.
You can have summer fun in September.
It's just you
but
lose a
not
little bit of
summer.
daylight. You can't do the 5 p.m. tea time.
I'm doing one tonight.
It's because you're in August.
Okay, fair enough.
But the 5 p.m. tee time starts dwindling. It's got to become 4. It's going to become 3. And now you can only play 18 on the weekend.
We have some maple
Says a guy who doesn't golf a lot.
We have some maple trees in my complex, and the leaves are starting to change already, and it's driving me nuts.
Like, pros of the Oilers going to the Stanley Cup final, our jobs were tremendously easier. You look back at like the years where it's middle of May and you're like, 2 or 6 weeks till free agency. Here's my article on who the Oilers could target. Then 2 weeks, you're just doing the same article. I don't think I can go back to that. I need them to be in the Cup final every year.
Yeah.
Because, like the season ending, then a week later is draft, free agency, boom. All of July was like the usual summer content that you'd be putting together in May and early June in past years. Now you get to burn that in July. It's great.
I'll be the first to admit that I wish we had a week or two gap between the end of the finals and the start of like off.
Yeah.
Like the transition.
That was too crazy.
They need to move free agency back to the 13th or whatever it was during the COVID.
And there
period.
is
and make sure the cup's awarded middle of June.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. They need to bump that up big time.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? It should be Cup, 2 weeks, draft, 2 weeks free.
Also, free agency should not be Canada Day.
No, that's
everyone should have the day off.
Yep.
Yeah. That's why I loved it when it was like the 13th or the 7th or whatever it was for those period of years.
That one or a couple random years for COVID.
Great.
Shout out COVID.
Shout out to COVID. Yep.
No? You want me to edit that out?
What? No.
Okay.
What?
Ty, big COVID guy.
Yeah, COVID's not a big subject anymore, I don't think.
Nope.
Or maybe for some.
Maybe. All right. Well, good episode, everybody. Thanks for coming on, Zach.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me, boys.
We'll be back on Monday.
Get those bids in. Get me to 5K.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
Man.
Enjoy your weekend.
What's up, Nation citizens? If you like that video, then you need to be subscribed to the Oilers Nation YouTube. Podcasts, live shows, exclusive interviews, and analysis. Everything you need from your favorite voices at Oilers Nation. And you don't want to miss any of it, so hammer that subscribe button.